Welcome back, welcome back. If you're a solo ranked player, this tier list is for you. If you do not pre-made with 5 or 6 people, maybe you do with one other person, but this is mainly for those who climb solo. Now, if you want to see the full list in its entirety, me talking to chat, because I streamed it, me talking to chat, us talking together, figuring out where people should go. If you want to see that, link in the description below. You can watch the full video in its entirety, but I just wanted to make a short version just in case you don't have the time so you can get down to the nitty gritty. The first category that we have is a point generator. So these are going to be characters that just give you tons of points. Even if you're not the best with the character, you will still be able to generate points. They're free wins basically. Squirrel Girl is in this class because you do not need to be a great Squirrel Girl player to get the wins. You could fire shots around the corner. Whenever you get your ult, just throw it, bounce around, it will kill people. There's not really a time where you won't kill anybody. It's very easy to use. She does tons of damage if you can land the shot on the head. Like, she is insane. If anyone chases her, she'll jump. She can refresh to jump and jump again. Very hard to play incorrectly, and you will just auto win fights if you just ult properly. So very easy character, very straightforward character, very amazing character. Recommend it for those who are new to DPS or trying to get better at DPS. The next character that we have is Thor. Thor is great because he's very hard to deal with. Even if the Thor dies 10 times, 20 times, the amount of impact this character has because he stays alive for so long and he's a major kill threat is very high. All you have to do is get close to anybody and they can't 1v1 you. Most tanks cannot 1v1 you, all DPS cannot 1v1 you, and all healers cannot 1v1 you. You are a 1v1 machine. So if you like a melee character that likes to be in people's face and likes to survive for a very long time, Thor is a character for you 100%. And then when he ults, it's a very big AoE, very good for overtime, very good for securing kills on targets. Great character. The next character that we have is Spider-Man. So you do not have to be a good Spider-Man to make Spider-Man an S character. I get a lot of controversy over this character, but he's been in S tier for all my tier lists and he's gonna stay there. The main reason is because you don't need to be good with him. Go in, punch a few times, fly out. You do not need to secure kills. You do not need to get kills as DPS to win games. You just need to be impactful. When you get your ultimate after flying in multiple times, go in, ult, wipe the entire team, rinse and repeat, you will get free wins. Next character that we have is Magik. So when it comes down to Magik, her survivability is pretty much unmatched, and when you get really good at her, you become a force to be reckoned with. One of the main strengths of her is that she can one-shot really quickly. And so if you can manage to land that combo every single time, you will one-shot almost every single character. Obviously tanks, it won't happen, but other characters you will one-shot. She's very strong. Then she will get her ult, she becomes a way more destructive version of herself, and she's getting a skin. So all these reasons, good character to play if you're interested in characters that use great swords. The next character that we have is Cloak and Dagger. There's no wrong to this character. The heals are great, the damage is great. When you ult, it's a very good engage tool. If you have any tanks that are very scared to move forward, play Cloak and Dagger, ult when you have it, and they will follow you into the point and you guys can win that match there. It's a very good defensive ult as well, and she just got buffed. Kind of nerfed too, but she also got buffed. So great character to play. I think she's always gonna be a top tier character because her kit is so well done. The next character that we're going on is going to be Storm. Now when it comes to Storm, similar to Spider-Man except range. That's pretty much it. You just farm up your ult, fire that thing when you're ready, you kill everybody in the back line, you win the team fight, rinse and repeat. The next character that we have is Scarlet Witch. When it comes to Scarlet Witch, she's very strong. She just got a buff, but she's very strong into triple heal comps or just characters that have AoE heals. People think that they're safe because they have a team that AoE heals them, so they get close like Luna, or Cloak and Dagger's another one, or Invisible Woman. You just get close, but she thrives in that. She'll just ult and kill everybody. It insta kills everyone. You do not survive that. You don't survive through heals. So she's very effective towards that. Plus she's very easy to use. She has great escape, she has great chase potential, very great character, and she's basically a dive character as well. Try her out, you're not gonna be disappointed. The next character that we have is Iron Fist. So Iron Fist received a nerf in his damage, but a buff in survivability and a buff in being able to deal with tanks. The thing about Iron Fist that makes him a problem is that usually he will get a kill on someone else, even if he dies at the same time. If he constantly takes out a high priority target and dies at the same time, then you're gonna still win the team fight because you took out someone way more important than you are. This is why Iron Fist is extremely strong. You either have to kill this guy or you die. He's a ticking time bomb whenever he decides to go in. Deal with him or I kill somebody. That type of pressure, no matter if it's low rank or high rank, is incredibly hard to deal with, and it's painful to have to always worry about. So highly recommend playing this character. Next character that we have is Mr. Fantastic. Solid character all around. If you're looking for a tank that does damage, you don't want to play Thor, you want to play something else that's more DPS heavy, this is a great character. He's a pseudo tank. He can be tanky, even though he's not really a tank. He can pass for being your second tank. So if your team is like, play a second tank, and you don't really want to, Mr. Fantastic's a great choice. A lot of damage, ranged attacks, melee attacks. Great choice if you don't want to do that. Next, we have Moon Knight. The reason why Moon Knight is super strong is because of the fact that he's able to hit a whole bunch of targets at once. This is something that not many characters can say that they can do, and he's ranged at doing it. This means that you can go pretty far away from the fight, throw down an Ankh, start throwing your stuff. It doesn't even need to be at the Ankh. As long as you hit the tank and they're all clumped up, he's pretty free. And this is really good for overtime. When people are stacked on top of the overtime, whether in convoy or domination, just whip out a whole bunch of his primary attacks, you're gonna get him low. And then if you have ult, kill everybody inside the overtime zone. So you single-handedly can win overtime matches if you play Moon Knight correctly and use them at the proper times. The next character that we have is Psylocke. Similar to Spider-Man, similar to Storm. You're basically farming up your ultimate. Once you're done, you just go ahead and you wipe the entire team. With all the characters in S, borderline, they'll get you free wins. When you get good at these characters, you're going to dominate. Very solid characters right now. Even though some of them got nerfed and some of them got buffed, it doesn't matter. These characters right now are still really good characters. Now we have the other categories where we have A, pop off or lose. So these are going to be the characters that if you do well, you win. You'll run over the game. If you play like crap, you'll lose, period. There's no in between. You're not useful. Either you are useful because you do well or you do bad. So if you want a coin flip type of character, if you feel like you like flipping that coin, play these characters. They're very good if you are good and if you do well. But if you're having a bad day, you're probably not going to end up winning your matches. They don't really work like that. S tier works like that all the time, but not A tier. B tier, these are going to be the balanced choices. So just like, even if you don't know what you're doing, they're pretty solid picks. If someone's like, hey, can you play this? Very solid picks. They're not going to automatically get you free wins, even if you don't know what you're doing, but they're going to be able to help you pass as a decent player while you're filling or stuff like that. Now, these characters obviously are good characters, but it's just, solid choices. They're not too crazy broken, even though they can be strong. They're not crazy broken. They're just fine. Next, we have C, which is take effort. So these are going to be the characters that require more effort to play and to actually get more value out of. Now, Groot is kind of an exception, but the thing that makes Groot takes this category is because of the simple fact that if you're not aware of where you're putting your walls, you will solo lose games for your team. I've seen it, and I've accidentally been the one to do it. Not lose games, but I've lost fights because I just forgot to take the wall down. If your Groot is not aware, they will lose you the game. So this is why it takes more effort. You really have to understand and think more about your team rather than just yourself and your own gameplay when playing Groot. Final category is D, not worth the effort. In my opinion, I don't think that these characters are worth playing. Even though they both got buffed, it's just not worth playing them right now. Requires too much effort. They're pretty much under the same category as takes more effort. You're gonna lose a lot of games before you really understand how to play them. But dealing with these two specifically, even when you learn how to play them, they're still not going to be as useful as other characters that don't need to do any work, right? And so again, I talk more in depth about every single character with the chat, and we go over it together if you want to know the whole kit and caboodle. Link in the description below. But this is just the short version of it so you can know what's what. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it, and until next time, you know what I always say. If you guys are doing what? Popping often. Well, often.